Beaton there was just be wondering, he lost his way completely, 9 darts out, and Mason cashed in just like that.
Well, we know what he is capable of, Chris Mason. He's proved it all too infrequently. We've had a 133 check-out, third leg of the match, a brilliant 120. Under pressure, that time he responded.
Still haven't seen 96. The best of Chris Mason, though.
If he does win this, I'm sure he'll improve as the week goes on.
99.
Win the first match. Mason needs just one more leg to do just that. There's no going back for Beaton. He has to win the next 3 to take us into a tie-break.
135.
Determined dart play from Mason there after a disappointing opening throw.
42.
Once again, Beaton stumbles and allows Mason with a ton 40, ton 80 here to really set himself up for a fighting, rousing, successful finish. And it looks like he's going to do just that.
140.
Well, you talked about the purple patch, didn't you, earlier in the game? Crucially for Mason, he's produced it when it mattered, right at the end.
100. Chris Uruguay, 130.
Level 20 would leave the ball. He might come out for 18s. Yes, 94. He does.
Steve Uruguay, 120.
Wow, Beaton looks as if he is beaten. 80. Chris Mason then for a place in the second round.
Has a good look at it, Mason. His destiny is in his own hands here. Double 18 on the wire. Just needs to fractionalise the shot. The bed is still open. And it's still wide open. Chris Mason it is, who just edges the match. He just found enough at a vital moment. And he goes through. Lorna is on her feet, but it wasn't easy for Mace the ace.
No, a strange game. First 9 legs going with throw, and then, well, the nerves were jangling. Mason and Beaton, they broke each other's throw. Lorna is extremely happy. A 10-6 victory for Chris Mason, and he will now play either Colin Lloyd or Steve Maish in the second round on Wednesday night.
Yeah, that match against Lloyd or May scheduled for around about 8:30 Wednesday night, so he's earned himself a day off. After that, it wasn't classic, was it, by any stretch of the imagination, but job done. And the pressure off Mason just a little bit as he looks to climb the world rankings. Let's show you what's happened so far. Day 2, the World Matchplay 2006 from the Winter Gardens. Lionel Sams, his best performance on television with that 10-7 victory over Terry Jenkins. Jenkins hotly tipped to do something this week, but didn't live up to expectations. Adrian Lewis, good performance from him in the end against Matt Clark, Superman. 10-6 victory. The performance of the day so far anyway. Andy Hamilton, a 10-2 victory against Peter Manley. Andy Hamilton averaging around about 96 in that match. He was inspired. And Chris Mason, confirmation of that 10-6 victory over Steve Beaton. As I mentioned, it's Lloyd or Maish on Wednesday night in the second round of the competition. Kevin Painter against Barry Bass kicking off the evening session. Sky Sports 2, 7 o'clock. Colin Lloyd against Steve Maish. Will be facing, the winner of that will be facing the man we've just seen in action, Chris Mason. Phil Taylor, Bob Anderson, the pick of the evening matches. And Wayne Mardle against Steve Heim will be completing the evening's entertainment. Finalist in 2003, Wayne Mardle. Lost 18-12 to Taylor on that occasion. Lost to Manlians in the other quarters in 2005. So a big night for Wayne Mardle as he takes on the Muffin Man. That will be quick. very, very quick. We thought that this match between Mason and Beaton was going to go into overtime, slugging it out eventually. It was Mace, the ace, who came out on top, and delighted to say, look at relief on his face there. He knew he could have done better. The missus is happy at least. Well-deserved drink, I'm sure, for her tonight after that. An emotional roller coaster for you out there.
Ah, that's really tough. I mean, the conditions, it's really, really tough. Really hot. It's just really hard. You know, we're not, you know, we're not Olympic sprinters or nothing. You know, that is really, really hot out there.
Is that the highest stage you've ever known after this session? Even.
Yeah, a few years ago I played Peter Manley in the quarterfinals at Rochester in the casino rooms before we moved to Dublin, and there was about 2,000 in that night, and we were down in a little air-conditioned room. It was wonderful, and you actually got presented with the open doors, and you walked out into the crowd, and I thought that was hot, but that is just. I just couldn't feel my darts. I couldn't feel my hands. And I didn't know what to do. I just was like a...
Do you find the darts are slipping then?
Well, there's no traction between your actual... I mean, Unicorn, I'm not sponsored by Unicorn, but they've helped me develop a dart for me. And I'm changing with composites of metals and grips to try and find something that's going to breach that barrier of sweat between your hand and obviously your dart. And there was just nothing there. There was just nothing. I couldn't. I mean, I've never played so many games and not hit a 180. I know there was no 140s. There was no rhythm, and I'm looking at Steve's back, and it's completely soaking wet. And I'm thinking, if he looks like that, I can't imagine what I must look like. I mean, that was really, that's the hottest thing I've ever. And that it is. I mean, we can't help it. That's just the conditions we got to play in. But that was really over the top.
Hey, listen, we're running out of time, but congratulations
Thanks a lot,
through
Dave.
taking on Lloyd or Maish in the next.